My dear students, as we are discussing about competency-based questions, we need to keep few things in mind. Since interviewers cannot anticipate these influences when first meeting an applicant, they need to develop a line of questioning that will project as accurately as possible how an employee is likely to behave. Because it is a first meeting between the interviewer and the applicant, and interviewer are not aware of that how applicant will behave according to your questions. So it is very much important for interviewer to develop a line of questioning that will project possibly that how an employee is likely to behave in any particular question. For example, suppose you have an opening that is known for its emergency projects and tight deadlines. This is a job openings in which there are chances of emergency projects and there are chances to meet the deadlines. The deadlines are very tight deadlines because these are the emergency projects. So you can find out if the person is up to the challenge by asking about similar experience in the past. So you have to ask a question which may depict their past behavior and experience in handling emergency projects and in managing and in meeting tight deadlines. Tell me about, you're asking a question from an applicant for such kind of a job openings. Tell me about a time in your last job when you were given an emergency project with what you believe to be an unrealistic deadline. What did you do? In this question, my dear students, as an interviewer, you have asked two things. One, you are asking about the behavior of the person in handling emergency projects. And second, you are asking from the applicant that what was their behavior when they are asking to meet tight deadlines by the company. So their behavior would be the true predictor that how that particular applicant would perform in managing emergency projects and in meeting tight deadlines in emergency projects. So suppose the applicant's response indicates a firm grasp of how to handle this type of situation. If the person is giving you an indication that he can handle the emergency projects and he can manage the tight deadlines, it showed that the person is more suitable for such kind of projects. You still need to know if the applicant was required to interpret her normal workload frequently to tend to emergencies or will once in a while. So you still may ask further questioning after this particular question. Interviewers should note that competency-based interviews don't consist entirely of competency-based questions. It showed that competency-based questions are not the only component of the competency-based interviewing. Nevertheless, competency-based questions will improve the interview by several ways. What are those ways? They would improve the interview by identifying the skills and characteristics needed to succeed in a specific work environment. So what that is telling you, competency-based questions are helping an interviewer by identifying the specific skills and the characteristics which are very much important to meet the projects in any particular specific environment. And number two, it also helps in isolating the competencies required for a given job. So for one job, there are a number of competencies, and such kind of projects will help you to isolate the competencies. It would help you to make a list of the competencies and then categorization of these job-specific competencies into the four major areas, four major categories, such as tangible, knowledge-based, interpersonal, and behavioral competencies. So competency-based questions are not the only components of a competency-based interviewing. There are so many other things which may be asked by an interviewer in a competency-based interviewing.